Coming up on 7 News at noon, trees down in more than 100,000 power outages in our area, how crews are working to recover from Irma here.
Now that Irma has passed, we'll have the latest from Columbia, from Governor McMaster, and from state agencies on how South Carolina weathered the storm.
Live from the news station, this is 7 News at noon.
Good afternoon. I'm Fred Cunningham.
And I'm Tracy Early. Thank you for joining us. Recovery efforts are underway across the U.S. now that Irma has mostly moved out of our area.
It comes as the rain finally starts to move out of the upstate in western North Carolina. Malachi has your forecast first.
All right, we're going to take a look at what is now post-tropical storm Irma, a storm that brought quite a bit of rain and wind across the Carolinas and northeast Georgia. We're going to pick up our timeline here yesterday at this time as the storm was working its way through that center circulation well to our south and west, but as you can see, it produced quite a bit of rain across the upstate and western North Carolina here at home. In fact, we picked up between Monday and Tuesday over 2.5 inches of rain in Spartanburg, over 2 inches in Greenville, Anderson, Greenwood, right around 2 inches of rain, and Asheville, about 1.5 inches. And the wind gusts were the big story, the reason power outages and trees were down. Look at these wind gusts, 44 miles an hour in Spartanburg, 48 for Greenville and Greenwood, 49 in Pickens, Anderson 52, and we registered at 58 in Oconee. Keep in mind, tropical storm force winds are over 39 miles an hour, so all of these winds were stronger than tropical storm force. Now, the winds are dying down, the rain is going away, and we'll talk about what that means over the next few days coming up in about 15 minutes.
Thank you, Malachi. Emergency crews across the state are joining in the effort to help those feeling the impact of Irma.
South Carolina Governor Henry McMaster wrapped up a news conference just a little while ago to give an update on how the state is trying to help.
7 News' Katie Solt was there for that. Katie, what did the governor have to say?
Fred and Tracy, one of the biggest things the governor announced is that the evacuation orders for the barrier islands have officially been lifted as of 9:15 this morning. Now, we all know that means a lot of traffic as people work to head home towards those barrier islands. So Governor McMaster urging people to be patient while they're on the roadways. But some places like Fripp Island and Edisto Beach are under restricted access. So that's up to those local law enforcement agencies to determine how many people will be let in and how quickly they are let back in. Another big takeaway from today, there are officially 2 reported fatalities in the state of South Carolina from Irma. The first we told you about last night, 57-year-old Charles Saxon from Abbeville County was killed. The coroner says he died when a tree limb fell on him. The second is 21-year-old Zen Tane. The Department of Public Safety says Tane died in a car crash Monday, and officials say he was driving too fast for conditions. Now, something else mentioned in today's debriefing, there was, of course, a lot of calls into 911 last night. The state fire and rescue officials say in Oconee County, there were 715 calls. That's 10% of their annual call volume in just one night. So a lot feeling that impact in the upstate. But the governor says despite the fatalities and despite the high call volumes and the long hours, he's very pleased with how South Carolina weathered Irma.
We're very happy the hurricane went somewhere else. That is the main force of it. As far as the preparedness goes, we were very prepared. This team, South Carolina, is terrific. We've had some experience and also some dedicated people at all levels of government.
And the governor did extend his sympathies to the victims' families during this time. We'll bring you the latest from the governor and the other state agencies on how they're helping weather that storm, and the cleanup areas underway around the state tonight on 7 News at 5 and 6. Live in Columbia, Katie Solt, 7 News.
All right, Katie, thank you. Now take a look at this video showing some of the worst of what Irma brought to South Carolina. Streets were flooded with several feet of water in Charleston. Some cars were completely submerged. People who did decide to go out before the storm arrived had to use boats like these to get around. Many streets are still flooded downtown.
In our area, it's more about storm damage than flooding. Across the upstate in western North Carolina, there have been hundreds of reports of trees down, some landing on power lines, others blocking roads. 7 News' Vanessa de la Viña is in Greenville with how the storm is impacting people trying to get around.
Here's a look at what crews are dealing with all across the area after Irma. This massive tree fell over, taking power lines down across both sides of this street and creating a huge power outage in this neighborhood. Traffic lights were out all across the area, causing traffic congestion and problems on the roads this morning. Greenville police officers were on hand to help direct traffic at huge intersections like this one at Church Street and Augusta Road. These power outages have been a huge inconvenience, not just for drivers on the roads, but also for the people and the businesses in this area.
That just means we can't be in the office. There's nothing to do. There's no power, we can't see, so we just have to just go home.
Roughing it like the Boy Scouts. It's not easy, but you know, we've been through something like this before. At least we're not in Miami. We're not on the Florida coast.
We've seen crews out since early this morning working to get these trees, this debris cleared off the roads, and also restoring the power to these neighborhoods and businesses in the area. We've also spoken with some crews who are headed out to neighboring states because this is such a widespread problem. In Greenville, Vanessa de la Viña, 7 News.
At last check, there are more than 168,000 power outages in our area. More than 30,000 are in Greenville County alone. Crews are working right now to get service restored. 7 News' Christine Scarpelli has more on how those workers are responding.
Hundreds of Duke Energy workers came from all over the Carolinas and beyond to address tens of thousands of power outages in our area.
Duke Energy representatives say these crews are from Charlotte and the North Carolina area. They say they sent scouts out early this morning to survey the damage, and then they will relay where the down power lines and the trees are all across the upstate. Workers are then dispatched out. They'll take care of emergencies first, like trees or power lines over roads where emergency vehicles can't get through, and then they'll take care of clusters of outages, say in neighborhoods or housing developments where everyone is on the same grid.
Duke Energy is expected to take care of outages in the upstate in a day or two, and then as soon as those are taken care of, these workers are headed to Florida to address any power outages there. In Greenville County, Christine Scarpelli, 7 News.
Well, trees are down, so are power lines, and that's making driving difficult across our area.
We're going to check in with Emily Henning. She's keeping an eye on the roads right now to see what is still blocked. Emily?
Thank you, Tracy. So definitely be careful if you're heading out today. Going to see a lot of power lines down, a lot of traffic lights that might not be working with those power outages, some trees and branches. Just be really careful today. Also right now, check out all this traffic on I-26 eastbound. So as you head towards a 176, heading towards 85 and Business 85, this is the slowest moving spot there. And I've been seeing a lot of traffic here, not showing any accidents. It might be with those evacuations and people now heading home. Seeing also a lot of traffic on I-26 in Columbia and also on I-95. So just expect some heavier traffic today. So maybe some people are heading home after those evacuations. I was following an accident on 85 northbound, blocking the right lane close to exit 46. Still seeing a little bit of a slowdown, but as we take a look at this traffic camera, it does look like all lanes are back open. There was what looked like that 18-wheeler that was involved in this accident off of the shoulder. Still seeing some slowing traffic there. Be really careful. Look out for that accident off of the shoulder, but all lanes are back open on I-85.
Thank you, Emily. You can give back to the victims of both Hurricane Irma and Harvey with just a click. We've got a link to the Red Cross donation page on WSPA.com. You can follow that link and put in your information with how much you want to give. You can also just text Red Cross to 90999 to donate $10 or call 1-800-HELP-NOW.
A reminder, you can get updates on road closings, power outages, and recovery efforts from Irma right in the palm of your hand. Just download our 7 News app. It's upgraded now. It's from the Apple or Android store or your smartphone. You can sign up for push alerts to get new and breaking information forwarded right to you. And again, that app is free.
Still to come.